was sitting here like, why is the screen black? I have my camera closed. All right. Woo, guys. I'm here. I'm live. Let me get this poll started so we can get into this and engage and go. And then I've got to also check the sound. So hopefully you guys can see me. That is one thing I can't stand about YouTube. You always got to make sure that sound is good. All right. So this is just a repeat question because I have a time crunch. So sorry if you guys see this question like 3 times, but that's the only reason. I just want to make sure that I get as many people as possible and have an understanding of what exactly is the consensus. So that's the only reason you'll see this question 3 times. I already have it up on the community tab. So I don't know why this won't copy and paste, but that's fine, computer. Don't listen to me. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. So strange. And then let me know if you guys can hear me. I haven't checked the sound yet, so I'm just setting up the poll. All right, here we go. Posting that. I'm just going to capitalize that because that bothers me. All right. So the poll is up. It's the same that's on the community tab here. And what I want to ask, first of all, welcome. Let me get started and see if I can check the sound. Let me see if I can check the sound. Checking the sound. Check. All right, sound is good, guys. Sound is excellent. Make sure the description bar has everything we need in it. Yes, all the information is there. So we are good to go in terms of that. Welcome to the live astronauts. So I am so happy to be live on this Friday night. I have my coffee ready. It has been a long day with plenty of things to do. So I hope you guys have had a good week. I know I went live yesterday briefly, just to do a little pop-up because it was on my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get some answers from you guys about these monthlies and seasonals. And the whole reason I realized I need to get answers now because I was like, well, I start filming them early. So technically I would start filming them next week. And so I'm like, okay, let me see if I can get an answer. So if you don't know what's going on, the poll question from yesterday, today, and it's also on the community tab, is if I move the monthlies and seasonals to channel membership, would you join and watch? So the selection, is it freezing? Okay, hopefully you guys got me. So the answers you can choose from is yes, I join, maybe depends on the price, no, and I only watch for other readings. So I just want to see if there's a demand for it. To be completely honest, I actually don't need a huge amount of people to want the readings. Even if 5 people chose memberships, it would be worth it. So with the membership, what I was thinking, and you can go to my little membership chat tab. I think I've only put in 2 perks. I wasn't planning to do memberships until way after I graduated, but because I really like the monthlies and seasonals, I'm like, oh, I want to save them. But essentially, let me break it down. What I was thinking, it was probably going to be like $2.99, and it would have the monthlies, the seasonals, the yearly readings. So that would be a total of 17 videos in total for just the members. And then also I was going to do a members only live where it would be free questions. And the only reason I've only had those perks for now is because I'm currently in school. So I was like, oh my God, what other perks could I possibly do? I was like, these are manageable. I do the monthlies anyway. And then also I have also wanted to do a members only live. So that would be what the $2.99 is. So you do the members only live and you would ask free questions. And depending on the amount of members, it may depend on how many questions you could ask. But let's say it's just 5 people. I don't see the point. I don't see a reason why there can't be more than one question being asked during a live session. So that would be the bundle. But if it's like a lot, I don't think it would be. Then I would have to limit the question amount. So just to recap, the question is, if I move the monthly and seasonals to channel membership, would you join and watch? So what I'd have in mind would be $2.99 for the monthly membership. It would come with the monthlies, the seasonal readings, and the, next year readings, like 2026. I always do like a yearly reading. And then it would also come with a free questions, members only live session every month. So that would be the thing. So let me know if you guys are interested in that. I wanted to put that there for you guys. How has your week been? How has your week been, astronauts? I hope it has been fantastic. My week has been pretty short. I took Thursday off. I took Thursday off. I just needed a break. I felt like life was going at full speed, and I just had a lot of things to juggle and a lot of things to do. So I had been planning a vacation. Technically, we've been thinking about it, me and a friend discussing it for a while, and I sat down and I came up with like the bare bones of the plan, but it's not like something that is pressing. But I would like us to at least have tickets and things booked by January. But that was a whole thing with researching. You guys know I'm in project management, so I'm like writing down the times of everything, the addresses. I'm going day by day. I'm like, we're gonna eat here. I'm looking at how far away places are. I'm like, should we rent a car? Let me try reframing this, okay? Hey, Marlon. Hopefully you can see me. I was having issues with the internet, so I don't know if you're still there, but hopefully everything's working now. I refreshed it, so I should be showing up in your screens. Okay, great. You can see me. Thank goodness. It was like freezing on my end. How have you been? I completely forgot where I was when and what I was talking about because the screen froze. Oh yeah, I was talking about my week. Because I was prepping for the weekly collective. But yes, how have you been, Marlon? I haven't seen you in forever. I'm so glad you made it to a live. Like, that's really exciting. How's life been going? I hope it's been wonderful. I have met so many people who have had so many big changes in their lives this week. Just because of the eclipses, they've been particularly powerful. So I'm just curious if there's been any change. Had a downward spiritual, because a lot of my readings were turning out to be projections. So that really sent me in turmoil of not trusting myself. No, don't do that. You continue to trust yourself. It might just be like spirit's just trying to work some things out with you. I knew what you meant. A downward spiral of like things. Spirit just wants you probably to address some things first, but I'm sure you're intuitive, Marlon. So trust yourself. Sometimes spirit is going to give us different messages. Yep, that's exactly it. It's clearing out. It's just a learning lesson. That's all that's happening. It happens to all of us, It happens to all of us. Sometimes we're like, wait, what's going on? This doesn't sound like this is related to the person I'm reading for or anything else. And it's because it's part of our own personal lesson. So that happens. But you're going to be back on your A game for sure. Don't even worry about it. I have faith. you never know how spirit is going to try to reach you. It's actually really amazing. Sometimes it's going to knock us over the head with a lesson. Man. But I did want to get into the weekly collective. I was talking about my week. It is Friday. That means I'm going to do the weekly collective for anyone who pops in or anyone wants to play it back. I have my poll question. This question is also on the community tab. I've only posted it like twice, or I think I posted it yesterday as well in the live. That's because I'm on a time crunch. So I need to decide by next week if I'm going to keep the monthlies and the seasonals. If there's no demand for membership, and honestly, I really wouldn't even need a lot of members. I probably need like maybe 4 or 5. But if there's no demand for it, then we're just going to get rid of it. And that'll be that. No more monthlies and no more seasonal or, 2026 types of readings and things along the lines of that. Sometimes you just got to clear things out. You just got to just let things go. And speaking of that, last week when it came to the weekly collective, we got the Temperance card, the 5 of Wands, and the Strength card. Okay. And so for this week, there's probably been a few things going on where you might felt like certain things that have been frustrating you have been motivating you to change. It may have felt like there have just been some transformations that you've had to endure this past week. This can also connect to having to be patient, because both of that Temperance and Strength card are going to connect to patience and feeling like, man, I gotta white knuckle this and just power through this somehow. So that could have been going on this week. There's just a lot of happenings going with this happening. Different expectations, having a lot to do, different errands to run, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But let's get into this week. And if you're new to the live, welcome. I'm Brandy. I am a practical everyday tarot reader. So I like to use my years of experience to give, very grounded predictions. Right now, I'm just doing the weekly collective. I do it every weekend so we can get an idea of what the energies are coming up for us and unfolding for us collectively over the next week. And that is where I'm at. But you are also free at any point to ask questions. And this week's question I have for the poll is essentially a timely question having to do with people's preferences, whether they like the monthlies, whether they would want to do a membership, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So let me know your thoughts on that, because I have to make a decision by the end of next week. I'll say Friday, more than likely. And if there is a demand, just let me know. Just let me know. I want to do a little head count real quick. Okay. Let's jump into this reading. Okay. I keep saying okay. I don't know why. I've just noticed that I always do that. It's like my filler word. Instead of saying like, which I used to say a lot more, I always say okay. I'm being too critical of myself. Anyway, let's get into this. Oh, I want to give one more shuffle. We have the 6 of Pentacles. Love to see it. Love to see the 6 of Pentacles come up for next week. We also have the 2 of Swords reversed. Probably its best position, right? And then lastly, we have the 3 of Swords. Now, this is about definitely letting go of some things happening here. Oh, we've got a vote. We've got a vote for yes, I joined. That's good to hear. So let's get into these cards here. It's interesting because we start off the week with so supportive, and then sometimes it's not even just the start of the week. Hi, Nabetia. I hope I'm saying it right. I'm always like hesitant. Okay. Hey, how are you? Hope you're doing good. But as I was saying, we start off the week with the Six of Pentacles, and sometimes these energies just blend throughout the week. Sometimes it's just like, hey, I'm just letting you know what's happening in general. But this Six of Pentacles is good. It's like letting us know that we have some support here. We're going into the beginning of the week with some solid foundation, some advice, some balance. It feels as though we've got our head on straight. We've got our plan together. We've got our eyes on the prize, and everything is looking good. It just feels like, okay, things are balanced. I have a plan. I know how things are going to play out. And I'm doing pretty good. I hope you're doing good as well. This week has been very relaxing for me. I took a day off, so I'm actually very well. I hope you guys are all doing good too, following the eclipse energy. I know that can bring a lot of changes, transformations, and sometimes that's frustrating and sometimes it's exciting, right? Said, hi, I got a reading for you some months ago. Everything came true. Thank you. So glad. Thank you, Violet. That makes me happy to hear. I'm very glad I was accurate for you. So you look so pretty, like Anurata Nakshatra, Scorpio, dark feminine makeup. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love Anurata Nakshatra. So, I love the Saturnian ruled nakshatras. They're my favorite. Minus Mercury. Mercury and Saturn are my favorite. But let me get to the weekly collective. So we're in the middle of the week. Next week, it is the Two of Swords. And you guys can ask me a question at any point. I'm just doing the weekly collective. But it sounds like to me, at some point in the week, we're going to have to make a decision. Like maybe somebody offers us something, whether that be advice, whether that be a helping hand, whether that be some sort of financial incentive or material incentive. And we have to decide if this is something that we want to accept, or we want to negotiate, or we just feel like, oh, I don't know if that advice is for me. I don't know if I want to do things that way. I don't know if I want my routine to stay in this direction. I don't know if I want to stay in this place. I don't know if I want to keep the same approach. There's a lot of things to consider when it comes to that Six of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. Now, the Three of Swords is actually interesting as well, because something tells me it's almost like this feeling of, I want to have my cake, but I also want to eat my cake, right? And it just feels as though we can no longer stay in this place of having everything we want. We have to make a decision, and that decision is going to cause us to have to cut ties with something, have to pull back on something, or, lose something in a way, just break up with something or someone, who knows? But whatever the case may be, you're letting go of something next week. Sometimes, though, the Three of Swords is just like, I'm disappointed how things played out. Like, I wish that things had been different. Sometimes it's a feeling of just general loneliness. Sometimes it's just a feeling of feeling dissatisfied. I've definitely seen the Three of Swords represent dissatisfaction. And maybe for some of you, you're in a love triangle next week. We know the Three of Swords can represent that. But whatever the case may be, we're going to have to use our intuition to guide us forward. And we're going to have to learn to sit with our choices, whether those choices work out for us or whether those choices feel a little bit heavy, But that's next week. I do think it's overall a good week. Generally, when I see the Three of Swords, it's this feeling of like letting go. And so even if it hurts at the moment, looking back at all of the Three of Swords moments that I've seen, it's just like, yeah, that kind of needed to go. That kind of needed to happen. So I hope you all are doing good. I hope that this week has been wonderful. Even if it hasn't, I hope it's been a feeling of growth and change and transformation. We're almost in October. Can you believe that? Like, September flew by. It was so much going on in September that that it felt like, oh my gosh, this is insane. So there's that. Oh, and now that I have you guys here, let me just run down what I was saying when it comes to the memberships. I was thinking of moving the monthly seasonals to memberships. It would probably be like $2.99 a month. And then also it would have all of the monthlies, the seasonals, the 2026. So like the end of the year, you know, I love to do the what's coming up next year readings. And then it would also have a free membership only like live session. So members would be able to ask like questions for free. They wouldn't have to pay or anything because they're already paying for the membership at least once a month. And so that is what I was thinking in terms of memberships. If you guys have any other ideas for perks, then let me know. But that's where I had landed so far. This is a lot of quick decision making. It's feeling very Knight of Swords. Like, but the only reason I'm putting so much pressure to do it now because normally I would film the monthlies like next week, right? I'm ahead of the curve, and so I'm like, oh, I got to get some answers. So that's where I have landed in terms of that. But let me know what your thoughts are. If we have to get rid of them, we have to get rid of them. It's fine. You know, maybe that's my 3 of Swords moment next week. And I'm like, oh, I love the monthlies, but I got to let them go. So let me know where you guys are at and how you feel. If you have any questions that I can answer, this card's popping out, King of Cups. If you have any questions that you need me to answer, and don't forget, you can always get a private reading from me. Speaking of private reading, I am going through some transformation and changes with that right now. So hopefully I can get something a little bit more structured so you guys don't have to do the form all the time. Though I will always have the form there because it allows me to put you guys on my email list, and I'm definitely going to have more things coming out in the future. So I want to be able to let you know about it. But that's the whole reason. But I hope you guys are doing great. Like I really do. This past eclipse week, I was going in earlier. Like I was saying how I've met so many people who've had so many different changes. Like their titles have changed, like their position. I've had people who had family members get married, and so their family has expanded. Ma'am, when will I get married if you want to love? Well, I will answer your question, but you guys have to remember questions for the live. It is $5 for yes or no and $10 for in-depth questions. And you have to either pay through PayPal, Cash App. Though I will say with PayPal, you can pay through other methods. I think you can like say pay other ways, and it can do card payments too. So I'll have to look into that. I'll give you instructions as soon as I look into that. But if you know how to do it, you can do it. You can also super chat. If you don't have any of those options, then go ahead and do it. I'm a Pisces, and I'm definitely going through it. Oh yeah, you're getting hit hard with the eclipses. The Virgos and the Pisces, they're getting hit hard, okay? I don't envy you at all, okay? That is some tough energy. Wow. But let me know if there's been some change. For me personally, it's all work stuff. It is all work stuff. It's like so many transformations with this channel, with my own work channel. School's the same though. School's the same. It's still exhausting. Taking on another job, and I've also been thinking about considering freelancing for my, normal 9-to-5 job, guys. So there's a lot within those areas. But let me know if you have any questions. We could talk about like what's coming up for you. We could talk about your love life. Everyone is always interested in anything that's happening in their love life. If you need any help with some decisions, oh no, I hope it's not freezing. Okay. If you need any help with making decisions, I would love to. Sorry, but give me more time for money. I'm trying to pay, and I thought you were saying readings free, so I asked, ma'am. No, the reading, I'm talking about the memberships. It would be the membership I'm thinking about creating a membership for basically seasonal and monthly readings. And then also in that membership, I would do a free reading for members. So that is what I was trying to say there. But generally the lives are going to be paid. Though I might do a free live for Christmas for subscribers. So that is what I was talking about with the free readings. But surely one day I'll pay you. Well, thank you for that promise. I'm going to hold you to it. I definitely am. work is good. I'm glad work is great. You know, that is always a area that could be very stressful, and it's such a big part of our lives. So whenever I can see people's work life going great, or their home life, if those two things are solid, then we could pretty much work through things. That and health, right? If you have a nice home environment, if your job's okay and your health's good, any other problems feel like they're a lot easier to tackle. Ooh. Woo. Oh, and next week we're doing a reading, and this is going to be a more love reading. And so I hope you guys like it. And be sure to tune in for that. And then you guys had voted for a career reading. I finally got that done. That's going to premiere the week after next. And then the rest, I'm going to let be a mystery. You know, I'm filming them now, and I feel as though you guys are going to like these ones just based off of the videos that received the most traction. These should be well received. So I'm hoping that is the case. So, but let me know if you have any questions. You know, if there's anything I could answer for you, anything that is boggling your mind, if you have been thinking about making some career moves, if you've been trying to wonder what's going to be happening in love, if you're thinking about moving, if you're thinking about anything really, you know, within reason. I do have ethics, and I'm sorry if the Wi-Fi is acting weird. I did not have any issues today, but great. When I go live, that's when I get all the issues. How frustrating. How frustrating. So, but yeah, let me know. You guys have to let me know if you have any questions you need for me to answer. I've had a pretty good time this week. 5 of Wands. Cards are calling me out. I did have some beef this week, and that just goes to show how cards are. Ooh, I didn't get to ask you guys, like, how did the cards show up for you this week? As I said, last week we got Temperance, we got the 5 of Wands, and we got the Strength card. So let me know how the cards showed up for you, because I love hearing from your examples. They're always so interesting and different. So how about a love reading? I can do a love reading, but just remember to send the payment first, and I will get started right away with your love reading. I love love readings. They're some of my favorites. I think they're most people's favorite, right? Everyone loves love, and just given the season that we're in, I'm trying to think. I think Mars is in Swati, so that's very that's very love focused, isn't it? So that means the energy is going towards that Libra house placement in Vedic astrology, and now's love season. I would think so. It's going to be there for a little bit. I'm trying to look at the time frame. You know what? I'll look at the time frame later, and maybe I'll do a little post on it. I was wondering if I should make a Substack, but I got enough going on. But yes, Mars is in Swati, so love is in the air. Not saying that everything's going to go smoothly, because, you know, Swati's energy is very changeable. It's like, I'm moving over here, I'm breaking this lease, I am dating this person, now I'm dating that person, and, you know, I am maybe changing my personality a little bit, or going with this flow or going with that flow. Swati's so changeable, very much like this wandering spirit. So that could be the vibe for a lot of people right now. They want to try something different. They want to try something new. But love is definitely still on their brain. It's on their mind. Woo! Cards are flying here. They want to talk about something. Kind of curious what kind of came out. We have 2 7 of Cups, Queen of Swords, Ace of Cups, 4 of Wands. Even the cards are sort of love themed. Daydreaming about it. It's probably saying that even the people who typically are more like analytical, or they're thinking about like more practical stuff, or even more what's the word I want to use, more mentally stimulating things. I guess love's mentally stimulating, but you know what I mean, things that tend to be a little bit more analytical. Even the people like that are thinking like, oh, maybe I'll do some love, maybe I'll do some love. Mm. I hope you guys are going ooh, let me know what you let's tread lightly. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I was bored and I was doing my makeup today. And then also I was feeling self-conscious lately because I started breaking out. Like I had like a whole bunch of acne on my jaw, and I was like, oh my God, let me cover it with makeup to make myself feel better. But thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And thank you guys for voting on the polls. I really appreciate the feedback. It is quite possible that I may be able to do the monthlies and seasonals, but we'll see. You know, I'll test it out. I might test it out. I'm gonna go by the end of the week and make the decision, and then we'll see where we land. But let's try lightly. How have you been? How are you? How have things been going? How's your week been? How's life? I hope it's all good. I know some people, honestly, I feel like this past week hasn't been that neutral for a lot of people. There's feels like there's something going on in literally every person in my life. Just on an anecdotal level, every person in my life has had some major event this week, or an event that's like not typical. So I just want to say that, and it's all been different. It's all that eclipse energy happening. But yeah, you guys let me know if you have any questions for me to answer. And if you're new, hi, I'm Brandy, practical everyday reader. I like to ground my predictions and real world experiences that I've seen when it comes to how the cards show up in people's lives. So that's why I'm always doing the weekly collectives. And that's why I'm always asking you guys how your weeks have been. Because the same way I feel as though hopefully, guys, you might be learning from me. I don't know. You guys are really good. So you guys may be learning from me. I'm definitely learning from you guys. It's always great to have so many knowledgeable viewers. And even if you're not that knowledgeable and you're new to tarot, I still learn from you all. So I'm just very happy to have such great fans, But I think everything has been fine over here. I gotta promote myself a billion times like every other YouTuber and say, if you want a private reading from me, link is in the description bar below. I will get back to you with the reading within 72 hours. And if you have anything you want to add, all you have to do is email me. And if I have any questions, I for sure am going to reach out and email you. So I won't just power through and make assumptions. I'm going to ask you to clarify things. So my week was okay. I'm glad it's the weekend. I hope you've been well. It's just okay, but at least it wasn't bad, My week's been okay too. There's been some bumps in the middle of the week, but then towards the end of the week, it's been pretty good. I've been relaxing a lot more. Should I Cash App or PayPal to ask you a question? You can do whatever is best for you, but I will prefer Cash App because Cash App takes less fees. So Cash App's my favorite. And then my Cash App should be in the description bar below. It is Astro-Tarot Research, same as my channel name. But if you guys want to know my PayPal, that is astrotarotbrandy@gmail.com. So that will be that for PayPal. Okay, I'll Cash App. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Oh, and I don't think I said today's deck. It's basically the Rider-Waite tarot deck. you guys know that's my favorite deck, and I'm always getting different variations of this deck. So it's just a different color format scheme. And the cards are kind of like, I don't know, they're glossy. They're glossy and kind of thin. There we go. All right. You can see them. And today I've got on my fake nails. I ordered these a while ago too. I ordered these like months ago. I just haven't had a chance to wear them. But since I took time off today, I was like, oh, let me put my nails on. They'll probably be gone by Monday. I am so glad that it is fall time, because I feel like the summer, at least for me, didn't have as many events, but that could be my bias. It could be because I was in school. You guys tell me how you felt the summer went, okay? Because for me, the summer was like, oh, let's let me know your question. Say, okay, I've been trying and press on nails at home lately too, but I prefer going to salon. Correct. The salon is the place to be. The nails last longer, they're prettier, they're more unique, but they're so expensive now. Like if any sort of set I want, if you want toes and nails, I'm thinking that's going to be like at least 150. At least the last time I went. But I do agree. I prefer the nails at the salon too. But I gotta make budget cuts, you know. But I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Especially like the stiletto, because that's my favorite type of format. So my question is, what's the energy at my job about me? Anything I should be aware of? Okay, let's get into that. Okay. We have the Queen of Wands here, the Fool, and the Six of Swords. Let's start with those. So the Queen of Wands is not a bad card to have, because to me, it feels like the energy surrounding you, or what they're kind of like their impression is about you, is more so like they feel you bring a lot of creativity and innovation, and you get the job done. Even if it's in a way that they didn't expect, or you bring your own flavor to it, because the Fool card's a bit unpredictable. And so maybe parts of your personality is unpredictable. And also, because the Fool card is unpredictable, I know we don't describe the Fool this way typically, but because their nature is changeable, they're a little bit of a mystery. And I feel as though your job's feeling the environment around it is, they feel like you're going to like cut loose. Like they feel you're the one who's going to just bounce off to the next. They don't know what to think. Okay. They're like, this person works at their own rhythm. They have their own pace. They seem to be very larger than life. The Queen of Wands energies showing that you have that ambition going on. So they feel like you're about to jump ship at some point, and they don't know when. They don't know when it's going to happen. They feel like you're going to get bored. You're going to want something new. You're going to want more adventure. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to go overseas. Maybe you just want to go to a different company. But that is the feeling. They're like, this person is not here to stay. That's their general vibe here. Let's do some other cards. Yep, I plan to, if they don't pay me more money. And you always want my ideas, getting over it. Honestly, I completely understand that. If they're not paying you for your ideas, and they're not showing that respect or showing that they value you, then yeah, I can definitely see why you want to jump ship. and you want to get out of there. We have the 5 of Wands here and the Knight of Pentacles. That's interesting combination, because to me, I don't know, I feel as though when I see these cards together, it's not like they want you to go, but with the 5 of Wands there, they're thinking like, okay, if this person leaves, we're probably going to hire someone else at even like a lower salary. To be completely honest, when I see that Knight of Pentacles, I don't really think that they're trying to make more, pay you more money there. It would, if they are, it's going to take a bit, okay? Because the Knight of Pentacles has to work up to it. Maybe they're financially just not at that place. Maybe they need to bring in more customers, more clients, more buyers. Because sometimes I get the 5 of Wands to be like, hey, we need to advertise ourselves to more people. You know, we need to get out there more. We need people in our business. We need people walking through our doors. We need people, we're selling whatever products we want. Depends on your company, but everyone has some sort of clientele, customer, end user, right? And so to me, it seems like before we can think about giving anybody any more money at any point, we need more people, you know, knocking at our doors, buying what we sell here. But honestly, they really do believe that you bring a lot of good energy here. Like you said, you bring a lot of ideas. They recognize that there's innovation here, there's thoughtfulness. You're a big picture thinker, and they recognize that you have a lot of qualities that they want in their employees, that they wish other people had, especially with the Star card there. To me, the Star card is somebody who's like this glue that holds people together. And not only that, but they feel from a perspective, you bring up the mood in the place. So not only are you providing ideas, but the Star card has this feeling of hopefulness and looking towards the future. And so it has to do with employee morale in a way. So they're just like, oh, this person has a good spirit and other people seem to like being around them. And so they're adding that quality to the workplace as well. So that's the feeling when it comes to that. They hope you don't leave, but it's not exactly like they're doing anything to stop it. You know, they're not like putting any effort. And I don't think they have really solid plans on what they're going to do if you decide to move on. You say, yeah, I work in employee engagement and wellness. Oh, well, that fits as to why you're bringing up the mood. That's pretty solid. But yeah, to me, it's like, I don't think they're thinking about like, how can we make this person stay? You know, they're thinking about how can I gain more clients, or like, how can I get more out of our workers? Or, you know, if this person leaves, what do we do? We might replace them with someone who will take less money and try to work with what we got. That's kind of their thought process. So, but it's not a solid plan, because the 5 of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles, they're not the best planners. They're not the best planners, so they're not prepared if you go. I'll say that. Let me pull one more last card. We have the Page of Wands. There's definitely other opportunities. Yeah. I was asking to see like what's the next steps. So to me, when I see these cards, there's definitely other opportunities out there for you that you may want to consider. You know, with that Page of Wands, it's like, this is something new. This is something I want to try. This is something might bring out more creativity. Maybe it's a risk. Maybe it's a gamble, but it can lead to more success. You know, and it might be happening more sooner than later, just because the Page of Wands energy is more like, I want to go now. I want to do things now. Let's hurry this up. This is taking too long. Things along the lines of that. So I really don't see you staying there long term. And they're not doing enough to try to keep you in place. In fact, to me, the cards gave off this feeling of being a little bit overwhelmed and not having enough structure. Said, thank you. I've been thinking about applying to other opportunities. Well, get to it, get to it immediately. I mean, with the world card there's so much going on that is a lot of people could learn from you. A lot of people could benefit from your expertise, especially with the world card. It shows that you bring something of value to any place that you decide to move to. So that I really think I'm going to wish you the best of luck, because I think that is, I mean, that's pretty amazing. Like, you don't want to be overlooked. You want people to give you the pat on the back, the respect that you deserve, give you your flowers. Yeah, I will. Good. And I hope you get that job quickly. I know this job market's crazy, but depending on your field, it could go pretty fast. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm always going to try to be encouraging. I definitely don't want to discourage you guys from positive things happening in your life, especially since I know a lot of you guys are very smart, you're capable, intuitive. I mean, honestly, I feel like I have a really great audience. Very supportive, thoughtful. You guys think ahead. I can't give enough compliments. So, and everyone's so cute from what I can see from the profile pictures. So I think everyone's so great. So that's all I wanted to say. Ooh. It's hot in here. I may have to turn down one of these lights just a little bit. Okay. You guys can still see me. It's super hot. And for some reason I decided to wear a sweater. So I don't know why I made that choice in my life. This is bothering me. I just want this to be a little bit more centered. Okay, let me move like that. Okay. There we go. Just get it out of my face. Did you model before you have the face and bone structure for it? No, I've never modeled in my life. I couldn't imagine doing that. And thank you very much for the compliment, but trust me, I'm very awkward. If you take a photo of me, it's a mess. And that's not me being, humble at all. It's truly a mess. I prefer, like, if someone's taking a picture of me, I'm just like, record it, please, because if you ask me to pose, it's going to be weird. Hello, how much for a super chat? He said, what? Wow, I'm so surprised. Thank you. That's very sweet. Super chat, Lisa. It's $5 for yes or no, $10 for in-depth questions. There's no limit for the amount of cards that I will pull. I always just prefer to give very thoughtful answers, and that's just who I am. But thank you, for Let's Tread Lightly, for the compliment. That's very sweet. Yes, $10 is okay. I don't make people pay more for the super chat. I'm keeping all the prices the same. Even though super chat, it technically takes out more. So I know some readers will charge more for like the super chats, which I completely understand. But to me, I'm just like, it's not that serious that I need to come up with different prices. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Oh, have you modeled Let's Tread Lightly? I wanted to ask that, since you brought it up. And let me know your question, Lisa. Can you tell me what's coming towards me in love? Oh, okay. This card popped right out. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Obviously something long-term and committed. It won't sit still for some reason. Girl, no. What do you mean? Round face models are definitely models. You definitely have round face models. Like that's no reason not to model. There's so many beautiful models. I'm trying to think. I can't name any current modern day models. I'll have to look at my catalog, but I know there's someone I have in my mind. Okay. We have the Five of Pentacles. We have the King of, why do we have so many Pentacles? King of Pentacles here. Let me pull that so you guys can see it, Lisa. And then this is the Five of Pentacles, so you can see it. And we have the Hermit. Don't know why it's not focusing. There we go. So what's coming towards you in love? Okay, what the cards are saying right away is love is coming for you. Let me pull these cards out. But it may take a bit. It may take a bit to land on your doorstep. If you're expecting love to happen this year or anytime like soon, it's going to take a minute. It's just going to take a minute. But the love that is coming in, the first card we got is now 10 years single now. Oh, I see. Well, that would explain the cards here. Let me see if we can get some advice too. But I think since the first card we pulled is that 10 of Pentacles, it's definitely about commitment, happiness, and family. So I really do feel like that's coming for you. And it's just going to take a minute. All right. And it's definitely, he said, travel so much, I am exhausted. Dang. I'm so sorry that you had to go through all that. Hopefully you weren't just like traveling for love. And you got some joy and happiness out of it that wasn't connected to relationships. But I will say that the cards are showing happiness, love, someone to cherish in your future, someone to be by your side, someone to be committed with long term. But you have so many pentacles that I know that this is going to be slow. And like you said, you've been single already for 10 years. And the fact that the cards are kind of showing a little bit more time, I'm not going to say it's like another 10 years or anything like that, but it just shows that it's still going to be a little bit more time. It's just going to happen. Now, nothing set in stone, but, you know, I just want to give my thoughts based on the experiences I've seen as a reader, especially with that Hermit card on the end, which is showing a lot of time to yourself to think about the big picture and who you want in your life and who you can connect to. And I think the reason that this is more than likely taking so long is because this King of Pentacles person is someone that is going to be high quality, someone who's going to match your values, someone who is going to have similar experiences, someone who's going to have a very structured background, someone who's going to really support you. They're going to have a lot of great qualities, and finding someone like that who can be with you through thick and thin, like this Five of Pentacles here, and who will grow into something lasting like this 10 of Pentacles, is going to take some time, because this is pretty much going to be like your forever person. But let's see what the cards are saying. Scared I will be forever alone and have no luck at all. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay. All right. We have this Devil card coming up, and we have the 10 of Wands. So in terms of any sort of like advice, we all know that the Devil card is about addressing potential issues or challenges that we have. And I'm not saying that if you address these challenges or issues or things that may be going not so great in your life, or things that you struggle with, because we all have flaws, and the Devil card speaks to our flaws, speaks to the behaviors that we sabotage ourselves with. And sometimes it's, you know, other people that we allow to treat us a certain way, and we keep going back. What the cards are kind of saying here is essentially work on addressing those things. And the focus should be less on finding someone to be with and more so on like, how can I personally bring fulfillment into my life? And the reason I say that is because to me, it feels like the universe has this plan. And no matter where you go or what you kind of do, it's like, I want you to meet this person and I have a set time for you to meet this person. And so in the meanwhile, could you work on this, stuff right here? That's kind of like the feeling that's going on here. Oh, hey, NC, how are you? I did a lot of love spells. Nothing works. That would explain, because the universe kind of just saying, at least from the cards and what I see here, things can change. Things can change. The universe is kind of like saying, you've put in so much effort, time, and energy. I'm letting you know that, you know, I, this is not going to work here. You're kind of exhausting yourself, and it's not something that's going to easily be something you can control. Okay. There's a lot of different factors at play. I'm going to pull one more card here. Yeah, that's kind of like saying like the timing is going to happen when it's ready, like when it's time for you to meet that person. They're going to come into your life. It's going to be easy. We have this Three of Pentacles supporting that. Three of Pentacles, all about that collaboration, coming together smoothly. There's not a lot of huss and fuss. It's not a big struggle. It's not a bunch of hurdles. It's not going through so many trials and tribulations. This person is going to come into your life really easy. And they're going to come in at the right time. And it's going to be great for you. Okay. We have this Justice card, all about karma. Don't know what the karma is. None of us have all the answers in life, but sometimes we just got to say, all right, I accept my fate. I'm letting go. You're not doing anything wrong. You've done all that you can. It's time to just put faith in the universe and just know that this person is coming for you in your life. Yes, I feel like I have a lot of karma. Yeah, we all do. And sometimes you don't know why you've been given a certain hand or certain circumstances, but we have to deal with them anyway. But I will say the cards definitely show that you do have someone who you are meant to be with, and that when you come together, it's going to be pretty easy. This person is a very loving person, a very kind person, very generous person. They have a lot in common with you. You guys have a lot of shared interest, values, principles, the way you see things, and they're going to come at just the right time. But know that they are going to come. Okay. That's kind of what the cards are saying. Said, I'm new in America and I feel very homesick. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you feel homesick. You know what? See if you can make I know it's hard, but you may have to branch out to see if you can make any new friends. And that's always a good way to meet people. 100%. If you open up, if you talk to people, you never know who they know. You never know if they know someone who has someone you might be interested in. Get invited to parties or outings or events. Because I really do feel as though, I feel in America, it's hard to find people. Yeah, it can be. You can definitely join. I know there's Bumble BFF if you're looking for like online dating, not online dating, online friendship. I mean, they do have dating, but you can find friends through Bumble BFF. I have found friends through Bumble BFF. If not that, I would say look up events for things that you're interested in. Follow things that you're passionate in. So if you're like, oh my goodness, I really like pottery, then go to a lot of different pottery events, show up consistently, talk to people. Physical activity gets people talking to each other. Said, I'm from Germany. Yeah, start. You can, you know what? I don't know where you are in America, but you could find German people too. You know, depending on where you are, you might be able to find a subset of German people as well. Oh, okay, Florida. I don't know. I don't know about Florida. I don't know. That might be a little harder. But go ahead and look for just events and things that you're interested in. Make sure to show up consistently, talk to people, reach out to them. Like, don't wait for someone to talk to you. And generally, you know, if Americans hear an accent, they're usually going to want to talk to you. Okay. But I hope you have a good time here. I'm so sorry you're homesick. I'm going to wish you the best, Lisa. American men are very shy. You are correct. They are very shy. You're going to have to make the first move if you, a lot of the times with American guys. They didn't used to be like this, but these days, yes. But I'm going to wish you the best, Lisa, and I'm going to get to NC's question. And said, I am so not shy. Ah, well, you're one of the few Janesses. Who is coming in love before the end of the year? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, a reading request after NC. Oh, thank you for letting me know. Wow, I love a confident man. Yeah, I do too. But, you know, there's a lot of people who struggle with confidence, but I think you can find one, especially if you're confident yourself, because a lot of people say opposites attract. I don't believe that. A lot of people like people who are similar to them. So if you're very friendly and outgoing, you may start to attract people who are very friendly and outgoing. Okay. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Six of Cups, but it's reversed. So we're getting away from the past. And then we have the 10 of Wands here. And this one's reversed too. Less stressful. So to answer your question and see who is coming in love before the end of the year. Well, it's going to be someone new. I will say, though, with these cards in particular, it may just be like a little bit of a quick flirtation going on. Just because when we have that Six of Cups and it's reversed, normally I get it upright to represent like support, puppy love, comfort, etc. When it's reversed, it's almost like, I'm not sure I have time to really commit to anything and give you my full emotional support and attention, right? And that 10 of Wands, when they're reversed, it's like, I'm putting things down, but I'm still exhausted. It's like you just ran a mile, you're tired, you're sick of going through all of this, and they've been in the dating race too long. So I do see someone coming because we got that Page of Wands, but how serious they're going to be, I don't know. I feel as though they are wanting to start anew, but they don't have the time or energy for it. And they're not willing to go through all of the efforts it takes to get to know someone, right? Meaning they don't want to sit through, how many siblings do you have? And, you know, what's your favorite color? And do you like this? You know, we all have to go through that a billion times when we start dating people just to know the basics about them. And this person coming in and see is just like, oh, I'm so tired of that. They're like, I'm so tired. I feel like Groundhog's Day, the movie where you keep playing the same day over and over again. But they are interested in you. They think you're very attractive. They feel like there could be something there. Let me pull these cards. They have a lot of ambition, but I don't know how strong their follow through is. They're going to be very sweet, very charming, talk a lot of game, very like I said, very flirtatious energy with this person. Say they just need confidence in what they are about and what they want to do. Typically, that's how guys build personal stability. That's solid advice, Genesis. I never really thought about that. And we have this Page of Pentacles. I'm going to clarify that. The Tower. Okay. And the Ten of Swords. Okay. So to me, when I see these cards coming in, we have some conversations, some back and forth, some moments that are, what's the word I want to say? Shocking, enlightening when it comes to the dating atmosphere. And it may make you feel a little bit like you're tired. Not at least my career's good. It's not like I don't think it's terrible. I really don't. I mean, the 10 of Swords is here. So it's just more like, not this again, with the 10 of Swords. It's just a bit like, how it feels when you get the 10 of Swords card. It feels like, oh, another thing that is just not going my way. And the good thing about it is you're like, whatever, after this moment with this person, or maybe even another person, because we did get the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, you're kind of like, all right, whatever, on to the next, on to the next person, on to the next flirtation, love, romance, whatever. And you're ready to start anew. That's the good thing I like about that 10 of Swords. You're going to let it have its moment. You're going to feel what you need to feel, and you're going to keep it pushing, especially with the Tower card. So you just need to push that aside. Even if it doesn't pan out with this person or persons, because sometimes I get them as two different people. Even if it doesn't pan out with them, there's better things coming for you, especially with that Tower card and the 10 of Swords. It's like, okay, the BS is behind me as we go into 2026. I feel like that's going to be a better year just based on the cards that we have for this one. And we have the 10 of Pentacles. So there's better opportunities when it comes to stability, when it comes to 10 of Cups. So next year is definitely going to be a better year when it comes to your love life, your romance. I feel like there's better things coming for you. You're probably going to meet people who are more committed, more stable, have better understanding of what they want. People who are looking for love, lasting, long, committed love, not just like a quick flirtation or a one-night stand or whatever. Sometimes people are just confused. They don't know what they're looking for. Next year, there's clarity, there's understanding. There's like, hey, I'm looking to settle down, have a long-term partnership, potentially get married, potentially start a family. That's what I'm looking for. So that is what I see coming for next year, NC. This year, I wouldn't even worry too much about it. But let me get to your reading, Genesis. Hopefully that resonates, NC. And well, maybe not hopefully that resonates, because I don't know if that was the best reading. But maybe you can avoid that Page of Wands type person, because to me, I don't feel like they're that serious. I really don't, with their energy coming in. Sometimes people just have no clue. I'm trying to get to my PayPal so I could see your reading, Genesis. So yeah, I'll just stay in my house for the rest of the year. Still go outside. You never know. maybe the Page of Wands person has a cute friend and, you know, you just keep it pushing to them. Sometimes you can do things for the plot too. All right, let's get into your question. All right. I see it. I see it. Where'd it go? There we go. All right. I have the opportunity to justify the renewal of my annual contract for work. However, I'm not sure if I should really continue with this company or find some other company. Okay. Let's get into that. Continue with this company or some other company. Wow, it's almost midnight over here. I don't know where you guys are. Hey, girl, are donations still open? Yes, they are, NF. They definitely are. Right now, I am doing Genesis reading. So I'm in Vegas. Oh, wow. How is it? Last time I saw the news, but it's hard to know with the news, people were like, oh, Vegas is kind of slowed down. There's less tourism. I don't know why I didn't just move my camera. I'm like, Brandy, just move the camera. You don't have to move your laptop. Sometimes I have slow moments. But let me know if the tourism is doing well. All right. Should you renew this contract or to go find some other company? This is for renewing the contract. We have the Six of Wands, pretty good. And then other company, we have the Moon. Renew the contract. Three of Wands. Let me be a little bit slower. There we go. So we can see it. And other company, the Hierophant and the Moon, currently the energies going on. So you guys can see. And this is renewing the contract again. And the other company. All right. Let's get into this. So when it comes to renewing the contract, oh, I'm glad you like the comparative approaches. It's less, but it's okay. I'm pretty sure the Trump administration had the effect on tourism in general. Yeah, I think so too. They made it so expensive to go anywhere in the US. But for renewing the contract, it's not bad. Like you said, you're going to get some wins, some things that you want, especially the Six of Wands there. That lets me know that negotiations will go well. Three of Wands is kind of like showing, okay, we've talked about some things. I'm expecting some good things to come in. I do see that Seven of Swords on the end. I want to clarify that because that could be like you being strategic. Okay, that is good. Okay, we clarified and we got the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, it just shows that you're being strategic about your contract and putting in some things that you desire this time around that maybe you did not get before and having those conversations. The Three of Wands does show that it's a two-way street. So they're probably going to change a few things as well. But overall, it feels as though you'll be smart about it and it will lead to more benefits for you and your career, and your time at the job will generally be more pleasant. But I want to say when I first saw this Seven of Swords and this Wheel of Fortune card, my mind it first went to that even though you're going to negotiate a pretty good contract, that things are going to look great, that it's going to be better this time around, you're still going to get this feeling like you want to leave. There's going to still be that feeling there that there's better, bigger out there. So I don't know how long you would plan to stay, or maybe you're going to want to ask, hey, can this contract be shorter? I don't know. It depends on how they do the contracts, if it's based on projects or if they just have a set time frame for renewed contracts. Sometimes companies do that, but you're not going to want to stay there as long just this time around. Now, if you go to the other company, we have the Moon, the High Priestess, and the Hierophant. Yeah, if you go to a different company, the cards are kind of saying that it's going to be something to get used to. There's going to be an adjustment period. There's going to be a time where it's like, all right, this is a completely different atmosphere. And so there's a learning curve. There's a learning curve with the Hierophant and the High Priestess. And one thing I've noticed about the Hierophant and the High Priestess is sometimes there's a little bit of tension when it comes to, I know that it is a wild combination. But I was going to say, when I notice about those two cards, there's a little bit tradition between like things that are like traditional and things that are a little bit more free flowing and intuitive. And so it may feel as though certain parts of the job may be a little bit rigid, or it may not have enough structure. It depends on what atmosphere you're coming from. If you're coming from an atmosphere that was very structured, that was very much like, these are the roles, these are expectations, then you may find as you go to a different market that you're like, oh, they're kind of loosey goosey over here. Like things aren't so clear, things aren't so defined, and I've got to figure out a way to navigate this and really work within this new threshold and framework. So there could be that going on. But positive things I like about this card, you'll learn a lot, especially with the High Priestess, the Moon, and the Hierophant. Those are all cards having to do with either emotional intelligence, following your intuition, learning, growing, studying, researching. It feels as though you're expanding your mind, your world. And then also, if you have cards like this, there's definitely more opportunities to make more money. And also when I see the High Priestess there's a lot of like support. And what I mean by that is generally you'll have people who will like the work that you do. And maybe they're looking at your work and say, hey, do you want to work for my team, or do you want to work for me? Or I want to give you a contract, depending on your field that you're in. But people see the work that you do and they want to work with you, or they want to buy something from you, something along the lines of that. As you explained it, a spark in my mind pointed out to go by instinct. I have this feeling from what you shared that I should stay, but also not limit myself, like continue to build my side business. Oh, that's a good idea. Keep doing that. That would make sense too, especially with the High Priestess. I think I said this in one of the monthlies, or it could have been the seasonal readings, that generally when I get the High Priestess, especially for like career and finances, it represents that you're probably going to have like a base or a clientele. The High Priestess doesn't work a 9 to 5. And to me, especially if we're thinking about the Hierophant and the High Priestess, the cards just might be encouraging you, like you said, build and also work your side business, take the contract, but also, dip your toes in there. But either way, if you don't renew the contract, you're going to have a lot more time for your side business there, and you'll be gaining more clients in that area. So there's that. Entrepreneur ventures typically have atypical hours. Yeah, they do. And it's nonstop. But at least the really successful ones, everyone I know that has been an entrepreneur, and very successful. They work 24/7. It's 24/7. You don't turn your phone off. And if you talk to people who are like millionaires who own their own business, and the like, then you'll notice that they're always going to have their phone on. Even people who just get paid a lot, lawyers, they're taking calls on vacation, doctors, anyone who generally has a high salary, they're always on, okay? Or in a field where you can make a high salary. Thanks for being my sounding board on this, Brittany. I love you. Thank you, Genesis. I really appreciate that. NF, did you put your reading? And I'm wishing you the best. Like, I really do hope that your side business is successful. This renewed contract is great. And, it's a beautiful work-life balance, okay? Gotta wish success. But NF, I didn't see your question, Did I miss it? Let me know. Oh, guys, since while I'm waiting. Oh, okay. So no, you were waiting. But yeah, let me know your question. I will get to it. Let me shuffle a little bit. But as we are waiting for NF to give us the lovely question, I did want to say the polls tonight. Essentially, I was saying, if I move the monthlies and seasonals to channel membership, would you watch? These are the same polls that are on the community tab. And what I was thinking in terms of the monthlies and seasonals, it would probably be $2.99 a month. I would have the monthlies, the seasonals, and then the end of the year where I go into, okay, this is what happened in 2026. This is what's going to be happening in 2027. And then also with this membership, I would do a live session for members only, and that would be, free. It would be no paid questions for that. And the reason I want that is because I love doing the monthlies and seasonals. And I have to make this move just because YouTube is not the same algorithm it was when I started. You could be a little bit more creative, and you could take some hits, and you could do some stuff that wasn't that great or that popular. But now YouTube punishes you, and it's like, please. They punish you for low views, and I can't stand it. So I have to move them to either subscription, or I have to just get rid of them. So, but let me get to your question. You're fine. Have anyone told you look like Ryan Destiny? No, they've never told me that. I'll take that as a compliment. She's beautiful. I love that. My ego loves that. She's very happy. Okay, let's get into your reading. How is Derek going to feel when he sees Nakaya, there we go. When he sees Nakaya on Monday at work on her last day of work. Nakaya, okay. How is Dirk going to feel? Okay, well, come out. Page of Swords. There we go. And yes, that's my name. Oh, I love your name. We have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Nakaya. I always love when I see a name that's like not as common, I've always kind of wanted one because it would make things so much easier, especially like nowadays with social media. I can't just name something Brandy. There's too many Brandies out there. So I really like that you have a very unique name. Okay. Two of Cups. All right. So how they'll feel. Some mixed feelings a little bit. Page of Swords is kind of like, hey, let's make casual conversation. It's good to see you. How, this is your last day. How do you feel about it? Two of swords kind of feelings, where they want to talk to you, essentially. Like, I want to talk to you, want to get the feel for, like, where you're going to work, where you transitioning to, how are things going, like, etc. The normal stuff you say when somebody's leaving. That's kind of the feeling. Then we have this Knight of Pentacles, and it's like, oh, I don't want things to change. I don't want things to be different. When I see this Knight of Pentacles reversed, it's a really interesting card because I often get it for when it feels as though some people are like at odds with each other. And I don't mean like they have beef with you, but more so it's just like, I don't like that decision you made, Like, I wish you had made a different decision. And so for me, it might feel like maybe they would have liked you to stay. Especially when I see that Knight of Pentacles going on here, like, it may feel as though, like, oh, our time was short. It feels as though, like, oh, that's funny. You say you just never got to make a move. That's what I just said. Like, our time is short. That's what it feels like. I wish you had made a different decision. It feels as though this, didn't, like, I wish you'd stay. That's kind of like the feeling, especially with the Two of Cups. That's like, I would like to get to know you more, but I don't see an opportunity for that, especially with the Knight of Pentacles reverse. So that's a little bit of a feeling of frustration. That's a feeling of like, gosh, that is just not, it's kind of going to be difficult to work. And yeah, I could ask for your number now, but it's a little awkward and not sure how to bring that into conversation or how that would be received. Knight of Pentacles reverse is a little bit not confident. And they're going to be pleasant. They're going to be somebody who's going to keep the pleasantries. They're going to keep it professional. They might keep it a little short. Or they might linger around but not say too much. They might say bye, I'm going to wish you luck, da 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 da, what's your Instagram? Maybe they might throw that out in the end, but to them it feels like this has come to an end a little bit abruptly, and I wish you had made a different decision to stay. We have the King of Wands here. And I just want to clarify. And the Nine of Pentacles. So the feeling is kind of like, I hope you do well. I hope you flourish. I can see that you have everything that you need to be successful. It's a feeling, it's a positive feeling. They have a lot of positive feelings towards you. They're wishing you success. They're wishing you well. They think that you have a lot of great qualities. So I can see him being frustrated and keep it short because of the setting. Yeah, that's kind of like the vibe they're going for. They don't want to get into like a whole cinematic, like, don't leave me. Like, that's not the vibe they're not going to do that. Like I said, they're going to keep it very professional. You might notice that they're a little bit frustrated by things. But they're not going to want to show that too much. They're going to just kind of wish you well and be sweet about it. But they really don't want you to like go. Like, that's the vibe that I'm getting from these cards. It's just like, I kind of just don't want you to go. Like, I just don't see, I don't think that, maybe it's more from a selfish perspective for them, because I actually do think that they're going to think you going to do well. Let me pull just clarification. Yeah, pretty much that. Because I just pulled the King of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. So it's kind of just like they're, watching you leave. They're seeing you say goodbye. They're watching you go. they say, wow, this person's got some bigger, better things ahead of them. I wish them well. I think there's great things coming for them. Fortunately, we didn't get to like really connect and bond. Maybe I'll see them later. Maybe I'll see them hopefully in some other instance. Especially with the Three of Wands, because the Three of Wands always wants their ships to come back. So they're kind of like, maybe I'll see you somewhere else. Maybe I'll see you around. Maybe I'll see you in a different environment. Maybe you'll stop by again here to say hello to coworkers or something along the lines of that. But there's a hope that they will see you again, especially with that Three of Wands. Yeah, that's just kind of like the feeling. Okay, it makes sense. I was expecting a backflip. LOL. I just want to see if he would be like, oh, she is leaving. Yeah, of course they are. Like from these cards, 100%. That's kind of like that's their whole vibe. They're gonna keep it, like I said, they're gonna keep it polite. But they're like, I just wish you could stay longer. We get to know each other better. But I recognize that you're doing things that are going to be beneficial towards you. And I think you're going to be successful. And I wish you the best. And, I felt like we had a little bit of a chemistry, but, what can you do? Like, that's kind of like the vibe. So I really do think that this person had like a little crush, wanted to get to know you better, but recognize that the time was cut short. Unfortunately. Maybe, who knows? Maybe you guys will run into each other again. Life is bizarre. People end up running to each other like years down the line. You never know. Things are so strange. There's nothing stranger than life. And I mean strange in a good way. Yes, time is cut short. Thank you. You're welcome. I hope you guys get to meet again, because to me, it feels like you both seem to be interested. And I don't know. It just makes me sad when people don't get to connect. I'm a little bit of a love bug too. I love. So I love when people connect. I love when happiness comes together between two people and two souls. So a little bit of a romantic here. But, if you guys never see each other again, that's okay. Wow, 12 votes, guys. And they're all split evenly. Like, that's insane. I don't know what to do with that information. What am I supposed to do with that, astronauts? Like, what? It's like you just put the vote back in my hand. But NF, I'm wishing you the best too. I hope this new job actually works out for you, because I know you said you're leaving. So I think that's fantastic, especially in this economy, getting a new opportunity, growing in your career, doing well, having new ventures. Who knows? You might find somebody cute at this next job, So we shall see. We shall see. All right. I've been on here for quite a time. It has been an hour and 30 minutes. I did not expect I'd be on here so long. For those of you watching it back, I'm just going to repeat again that I'm asking this question: if I should move monthlies and seasonals to the channel membership, would you join or watch? I'm asking this because, one, I usually film the monthlies pretty early, so I would have to start filming them next week. And two, hope so too, I need to focus on the money. Whew. Don't we know it with this economy? I know the dollar has gone down 13% in terms of spending power just this year. That's intense. Okay. So things are expensive. Inflation's up. The dollar does not have as much buying power. So yes, got to get this money. But when it comes to the monthlies, I was asking that because YouTube is penalizing me, my channel, for not making all of the popular videos and searchable videos. So I either have to get rid of the monthlies and seasonals, or I have to put them under the membership. The membership would more than likely be $2.99. I think that's one of the lower tiers in terms of costs. And with that, it would be total of 17 readings per year. So it would be the seasonals, the monthlies, and then the end of the year. And then on top of that, I would have a live only, members only session where you guys could ask questions if you joined the membership. And that would be, at least once a month. So that's what I was thinking. I know some of you said it depends on the price. I don't know if the $2.99 is too expensive. I could do $1.99, but I would have to get rid of the free live for members only. Okay, because that's a bit much. But let me know your thoughts. It looks like I might have to decide and experiment. It's okay if it doesn't work out. But that's what life's about. I'm wishing you all the best. Don't forget to watch back the Weekly Collective. Gonna be here next week. Don't know what time. I hope this upcoming week, whatever decisions you make when it comes to that Two of Swords, Three of Swords, is something that you feel like you can live with and that brings you happiness and peace in the long run. Don't forget, if you want a private reading from me, link is in the description bar below. And I'm wishing you all the best. I'm wishing you all the best. Fortune, love, hugs, kisses, and I'll see you next time. Au revoir.